A kind and loving father and brother is how Raja McCallister's siblings describe him.
He went to his little cousin's basketball games and football games, and when I was young, he used to come to games and things like that when I played sports. So, yeah, he was the kind of guy to show up.
The life of the party, you know what I'm saying? Like, when Raja came into a room, he definitely lit up the room.
McCallister's life was taken at the young age of 45. According to court documents, he confronted 63-year-old Teddy Hall for parking in a handicapped spot. His girlfriend told police Hall agreed to move the car and she thought the situation was resolved. But about 30 minutes later, when they came back out to walk their dog, court documents say Hall allegedly shot him 4 times. Sadly, police say he died on scene.
It was one of the most traumatic phone calls that I believe you can get is when you hear something like that. I was with my mother at the time, and those are traumatic moments that you will never be able to erase.
Krystal tells me she feels for every family that has to go through this.
This is happening every single night. We're getting these calls. We're running in trauma. Someone's crying. It's at a point where it's ridiculous, honestly.
When I asked what they would like to see happen in court,
that's between the creator and the system that we've all built. And honestly, 1,000,000 years wouldn't take away the tears. 1,000,000 years wouldn't take away the visions and the memories of seeing someone you love gone.
And now the siblings say they just have to keep pushing forward in life.
Even though this has shattered my family to the core, I want to be clear, this will not break my family. This has not broken me. It's hurt me. It has, taken a piece of my spirit, but it will not break me. If anything, it's lit a fire under some of us to do more, to be more, to say more, to go for our dreams a little faster. He say dream big. He say go for it. He was pro Black excellence. His name was Raja Black Excellence McCallister. That was what he was about. I just wanted people to know, Raja was funny. He was a character in our family and somebody that, we all loved. He was the second born of the grandkids in our family, so he was like a father figure for a lot of us who came up under him, and so we looked to him for a lot of guidance as we were young kids. So he has his own children. He has 4 children of his own who were very special to him, who honestly meant the world to him, and so their success after this tragedy is important to him, and the way that they cope and have to deal with the loss of their dad is just tragic to kind of what he meant to us all. His love for music, and he loved music. He loved E40. He loved hip hop. When I was young, he was kind of my entry into just the love of muscle cars. Right, he loved muscle cars. That's what he wanted us to know. He loved cars. He loved muscle cars. All right, we hear you. Right, yeah, he was into cars. He loved cars, and he was a big fan of family. We meant a lot to him, and he meant a lot to us. And that's something that I want to stress while I talk about him, is the importance of family, because that was a cornerstone of his existence, I guess. He loved sports. He was a show-up kind of guy. He loved basketball. Yeah, he was a die-hard basketball fan. We got that from our grandmother. She was a Blazer fan when we were growing up, and so basketball was very big in our household when we were little.
Raja, my big brother, taught me how to drive, things like that. Trips outdoors, school, fashion was something he was huge about. His shoe game was crazy. My shoe game was crazy because of his.
That smile. He had an infectious, big, huge smile. And when he came in, it was like he was so happy to see you. Like, he let you know what role and who you were to him. No one ever didn't know where they stood with him. He was the type of person that you knew you were family when you seen him. He'd call you by your title, cousin, sister, brother. Like, he would call you that, mom, that type of person. When you don't know what's going on, when it's frantic and chaotic and you're trying to put the pieces together, and you got to go down the line of who to contact, who to tell first, where to go. And I know right now a lot of people are dealing with that same feeling, those same phone calls, and it's terrible. I'm going to carry that call right with me.
There's a lot going on in the city right now that we're all not proud of,
Yeah.
a lot of trauma that people aren't dealing with. My brother was executed. Yeah, my brother was executed.
Just over the last year, what we've seen out here, from teenage deaths to all the way up to older, people's lives being taken. I mean, it's a lot of trauma in this community. Like I said, I wasn't the only one that month who got a phone call that someone they love wasn't coming back. There's been several calls. There was a call probably last night, right? And the fear is that there might be another call tonight. And that is a problem. The crime rate here in Portland has tripled over the last year. So that's in 365 days, from 31 to 32 deaths. We're at 102 plus murders. That's a problem, right? That's what's going on. What's shifted, right? Our children have been locked in their homes for the last 3 years. We're flooded with whatever's on the TV, right? So we have a lot of systematic things that are going on. This is not just a isolated incident. My brother, Raja, he's not just an isolated incident. I'm a very spiritual person, and so I'm very connected in my spirit. And one thing that has been on my spirit is I wanted to talk to my community about self-regulation. I wanted to talk to my community about the ability to be able to control oneself, the ability to teach our kids and to teach ourselves, or seek the help or the support that we need to be able to control ourselves, our own body, our own being, when we're walking through this earth. Because when you don't, and when you don't have that skill under your belt, you find murder after murder, crime after crime, statistic after statistic. And so I just want to be very clear. Please seek some social emotional learning. Please seek some self-regulation, some support if that's what you need to learn how to just be accountable for yourself. He would say, go for the gusto. He'd tell you to jump. He'd tell you could do it, right? Like, that was the kind of person. He was our hype man. And so to have our hype man going, I want to hype the world up, hype my city up one time and tell us we can do it, we got this, we can figure it out, go for the gusto. That's what Raja would say. Because we realize that at any given moment it could all be taken away. And so, my brother was planning on figuring out what he was finna do for Thanksgiving the next day. He had dreams and a plan that he was about to execute, and just like that, it was gone. And so that's how quick life happens. And so, just keep pushing forward.